Hey, what's going on, folks? It's Mike here, and today I've got a little bit of advice on just something that I was thinking about and reflecting on my own, well, college career here. So, with that said, let's go ahead and dive into just a few pieces of advice. I'm sure I'll have some more, but, anyways, you can hear it from me just as I was reflecting. So, I was kind of thinking about my college experience a little bit and wanted to provide these few pieces of advice for folks. And the first thing that I want to advise folks to do is, of course, you've got your classes and many things going on. And, well, some of you also have jobs and other responsibilities that you have to take care of, but I would still encourage you to try to do these first two things. The first is to join an academic club related to what you're doing. So if you're a software engineering student or a computer science student, try to join one of the clubs that's related. Maybe there's a game development club, maybe there's a open source club, maybe there's just a entrepreneur club or something kind of related. And the point of that is you often get immersion, you'll meet a lot and make a lot of friends there, because you're already kind of building in that social network of these folks are all interested in the same things that I am. So even if you're a little bit on the shyer side, it can be a little bit of a safer place because, again, at the very least, you know that everybody's still interested in the exact same thing that you are. So try to attend those meetings. Maybe at the very least, there'll be free food or something, and just put yourself out there. I think it's a good idea, and those might be your colleagues or coworkers or startup founders that you make friends with for decades. I certainly know that the folks that I spent time with in my clubs and so on, in the college clubs, were some of my best friends and folks that I maintain relationships with today. And that sort of goes with the next point here, which is, join an academic club outside of your major. You don't have to do a million things, but try to have something else beyond just the technical stuff. It could be good to be part of a sport or a philosophy club or something silly, maybe an improv group, because these are all ways to, well, improve your skills outside of just the technical thing that you're studying. Now, on this channel, I'm probably talking mostly to software engineers because I do a lot of computer science content, but this applies no matter what. So whatever that might mean to you, that's sort of a fun thing or a hobby, something that you enjoy, make time for that. I know you're busy in school, but I think it's fine to, have a little bit of variety here. It doesn't have to be all school, all technical stuff all the time. Now, of course, there's a little bit of a balance to this. I know there's a lot of things that look fun and interesting, and it's totally fair to try out different clubs or student groups or whatever. But again, don't overload yourself. You probably have multiple classes. Maybe you have other financial or personal responsibilities, but just kind of balance yourself out. And, it's a good way to grow your skills beyond what you're learning in the classroom. So those are my advices there. Now, another thing that you can do here, which kind of goes with these and might also be another way that you meet folks and, spend your college time, is to, try to find an on-campus job that's easy. I tried to do this. I worked in computer labs or libraries. And for one, it wasn't that much work, to be honest, when I look at how much work I was actually doing. Most of the time I was sitting at a desk studying. This could be a great way to make money. It builds structure into, what could be a very busy time in your life in college or grad school, where you have many different activities and social events and clubs, as I mentioned, to attend to. But this could be a way that structures you to sit down somewhere. Again, if it's a relatively easy job, do your homework or maybe learn. The other thing that I got at my on-campus jobs, I worked as a computer consultant. I learned a lot by teaching and helping others, right? It's what I'm still doing today, and one of the reasons why I do it. So again, it helped pay for my school. It helped add a little bit of structure. And a lot of time I got to either learn a new skill, and when I wasn't doing that, I was probably working on my homework. In fact, that's where I got a lot of my homework done. So again, just a little advice there. Might not always work out. And again, I'm not encouraging folks to just shoot for jobs where you're not going to do anything. The point of this is to add a little bit of structure and just pragmatically maybe make a little bit of money to pay for your school. And again, I made friends on these on-campus jobs as well. So it turned out to be a win-win-win. Again, if you can't do that, the most important thing that you are doing is, completing your studies to your best of your abilities. Now, some other maybe unconventional advice that I want to throw in here is to try volunteering at a conference. So again, this maybe goes on more of the academic side of things, although it could be purely fun or social, right? If you're a runner, go to a running conference or something. But the idea with this is that maybe if you're in a big city and there's conferences nearby and stuff that you're interested in, that might be an option to attend. That's a very good thing to do, or even to travel if there isn't something nearby. or maybe just attend a conference virtually. And I say to volunteer here, especially as a student, because it's an easy built-in network that you can attend, right? There'll be other volunteers, other students who are volunteers that you can talk with, and it makes it a little bit easier sometimes than just diving in. And, because not everybody's always comfortable just talking to a room full of strangers. So that's the volunteering aspect. The volunteering also has other perks. Often you get free registration and these types of things, which again, going with the above bullet point, if cash is tight in school, which it was for me, then it's a good idea to save some money. But the reason that I'm pointing you to this, and I'll get out of the way so you can see the whole bullet, is because, well, if you go and volunteer at a conference, let's say something related to software engineering, if you're interested in that, then often you'll see, professionals who have been software engineers, and you can talk to them and network in a sense, or just see the folks who are on stage giving talks or at expos, talking with folks, and see where their career led them. You might even get a chance to ask them a question about, how did you get here? What skills should I learn? What are 3 things that I should focus on? What kind of things do you like to see when you hire an intern, right? These are some questions that you can ask directly from the source, right? It's not random internet advice. It's going directly to the source. So again, not only that, oftentimes traveling is fun when you can do it, or if it's local. And again, meeting people is a good idea to start building up your network, right? A lot of times, if jobs are hard to come by, this is a place where you can go and, if you make real connections with folks, and it might be years where these connections actually pay off, but, have some friends who can help you, find new jobs or start companies or whatever you're interested in. Now, the last thing I'll say here, just giving some advice, and this is when I, talk to students myself, just have a little perspective on where you were a year ago during your college studies. Some of this advice here today is to balance out your experience at university, but I want you to just have a little bit of perspective on where you were a year ago. Think about that class that was really hard. Well, you made it, right? Even if you're taking it the second time, right? You're still better off than when you were the first time you took it, right? You're learning. The progress, is forward, I will say. It may take some time, but the important thing is that you're just continuing to move forward, right? It's a marathon race. You don't have to sprint to the finish. You don't have to compare yourself to the others, but try to enjoy your experience, balance it out with an academic and a fun club, outside of your major. I say join one academic club outside your major. I just mean join a, one thing at your school that's fun. But anyways, having that perspective here, on thinking about where you were a year or a semester ago, right? You've moved forward. So you should, congratulate yourself on that. Think about the things that you've learned. You'll probably surprise yourself. Most folks, I think, have underestimated what they learn in a year. I know every book that I read, I can't do it in a day usually, but over the course of a year, how many books can you read, right? And you've moved that much further. So, think about that, however you're measuring your growth. Maybe we can talk more about that on this advice here. But during your college career or grad studies, if you're watching this, or anything really, it's always useful to reflect a little bit back. And as you're doing that, right, find some time to make some friends at clubs and things that you enjoy. Don't overload yourself. Try to be pragmatic. But anyways, here were just a few things that I was pondering about. So with that said, folks, I hope that's some useful advice. Just as I talk to folks, sometimes these things come up enough that it's worth making a video, and I reflect back on my own career. These were the things that I try to do. Maybe they'll help you. So with that said, folks, thanks for your time and attention, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.